drops of water from a rusty faucet, and slowly the call to story was drowned out by the cries of caravan drivers to their beasts, melodies from musicians regaling audiences with tales of Solstasia's past, and other sounds of the settlement. Several people had stopped to stare at the idiot boy who had almost gotten himself trampled to death, and the weight of their gazes sent heat rushing to Malik's face. He twisted the worn leather of his satchel strap until it bit into the flesh of his palm. Shadows flickered in his peripheral vision, and Malik squeezed his eyes shut until his head hurt. "I'm sorry," he muttered quietly. A small head surrounded by a cloud of bouncy dark curls popped out from behind Layla.
"Did you see that?"
exclaimed Nadia. His younger sister's mouth hung open in wonder.
"It was like 1,000,000 feet tall. Is it here for Solstasia? Can I touch it?"
"It's most likely here for Solstasia because everyone's here for Solstasia. And don't touch anything," said Layla. She turned back to Malik. "And you, of all people, should know better than to just wander off like that." Malik's grip on his satchel strap tightened. There was no use trying to explain to his older sister the power a call to story had over him. While he was prone to dreaming and wandering, Layla preferred logic and plans. They saw the world differently, in more ways than one. "I'm sorry," Malik repeated, his eyes planted firmly on the ground. The sunburned tops of his sandaled feet stared back at him, blistered from months of travel in shoes never meant for such a task. "Blessed Petuel give me strength. Taking you two anywhere is like herding a couple of headless chickens." Malik winced. Layla had to be really upset if she was invoking the name of her patron deity. She extended Malik her left hand, the palm bearing the emblem that marked her as a moon aligned. "Come on, let's go before you get sat on by an elephant." Nadia giggled, and Malik bristled at the jab, but he still obediently took Layla's hand. His other hand he offered to Nadia, who took it without hesitation. No one batted an eye as Malik and his sisters maneuvered their way through the tens of thousands of people who had flocked to Ziran for Solstasia. Refugees existed by the hundreds in the settlement outside Ziran, with dozens more arriving each day. 3 new ones, young and unaccompanied as they were, hardly made a difference. "Solstasia Afshia! Solstasia Afshia!" The cry came from everywhere and nowhere, a call to celebration in a language older than Ziran itself. In a few hours, Bahia's comet, named for the first Solstana of Ziran, would appear in the sky for an entire week, marking the end of the current era and the beginning of the next. During this time, the Zirani held a festival known as Solstasia, where 7 champions, one to represent each of the patron deities, would face 3 challenges. They would know which god was meant to rule over the next era by the winning champion. Imagine every carnival and every masquerade and every festival in all the world happening all at once, Nana had once said. And though his grandmother was in a refugee camp hundreds of miles away, Malik could almost feel the warmth of her wizened brown hands against his cheek, her dark eyes bright with knowledge he could hardly fathom. Even that is nothing compared to a single hour of Solstasia. Though Layla did not move particularly fast, within minutes sweat poured down Malik's back and his breath came out in short, painful bursts. Their travels had left his already frail body a weakened shell of itself, and now splotches of purple and green danced in Malik's eyes with each step he took beneath the unforgiving desert sun. They were headed for 6 identical wooden platforms in a wide clearing, where Zirani officials and soldiers screened the people entering the city. Each platform was twice the size of a caravan wagon, and the travelers, merchants, and refugees populating the settlement shuffled around them, all trying to pass through the checkpoint while drawing as little attention to themselves as possible. "Traders in groups of 5 or more to the right, individuals in groups of 4 or less to the left," called an official. Those Irani soldiers milled about in their silver and maroon armor. Malik saw no sentinels. Good. The absence of Ziran's elite warriors was always a welcome sight. Malik glanced upward at the structure towering ahead. Unlike the Chippewa, the old stories had not undersold Ziran's size. The outer wall stretched as far as the eye could see, fading into a shimmering mirage at the edge of the horizon. 7 stories of ancient sandstone and mud brick loomed over the settlement, with the western gate a dark brown horseshoe-shaped deviation in the red stone. In order to take advantage of the excited crowds, vendors had set up stalls along the path to the city, shouting increasingly hectic promises to any person who passed. Goods of all kinds spilled from their shelves. Ebony prayer statues of the Great Mother and the 7 patron deities, ivory horns that bellowed louder than an elephant.